her bed, and she's snuggling with her favorite lovey, as Callie calls it, baboon. She is just so, so sweet, and I want to say that I am grateful for mystical moments and the magic of the universe, and just learning to be more fun and playful with it. And I think it's funny that the snapshot that YouTube chose for this video, because I did not select that, is exactly one of those mystical moments. The snapshot is of I always wake her up when I do this. She loves to sleep while nursing. So, so sweet. Um, my arm's getting tired today. Probably from all the carrying her today. I mean, she was in a carrier. I wore her a lot today, and my arms are tired. I'm having a hard time holding up the phone tonight. Um, but I wanted to say that the like screen now I can't even the snapshot of the video here that YouTube selected. I was hiking in Papago Park, which is also where I was today. One of my absolute favorite places to go and connect with nature. It's local, it's red rocks, red dirt, um, just very, very magical. And that picture. So I took that picture a couple of years ago during my NDE, and I took it. I don't know, on a whim, on a hunch. I was taking it of the steps. There were people on the steps, and I didn't even realize, I didn't see the girl there when I took the photo. It was really bright, really sunny. I did not see her until later when I looked at that picture. I was looking back through my pictures and I saw her. And I mean, it must have been so bright I couldn't even see her. But then I saw the magic of that light just streaming down onto her. That beam of sunshine just showing her connection to the universe, to source, to whatever you want to call it, and just how absolutely magical and mystical that capture was. And that was one of the first pictures where I started noticing the beams of light and coming down through oftentimes the crown of my head. Just that connection to source, to light. And I would take pictures having no clue that the light was shining like that. And I would look back at them later and just see this gorgeous, gorgeous light, like often beaming through the crown of my head or like through my heart, usually through the crown of my head. And it was just so special to see that and start seeing that connection. And when I would leave Marco Polo videos, you'll see if you look back through some of my videos, and I always point out the light and how beautiful the light is. And so fun mystical moment this morning. I woke up, and as you know, I've been binging Joe Dispenza. He's just awesome, amazing. Everything that he says resonates with me so much, and I do like that he takes it to the scientific, aspect to explain things, because it is very magical, and not everybody believes in magic. But when you can explain the science behind the magic, that's cool. I want to go on a tangent there, but I'm not gonna. I'm just gonna go with the magic of it. So this morning I woke up and I have his morning and evening meditations on my phone, and I'll do those a lot. And I like to wake up and do the morning one, and so I woke up this morning and I did the morning one before getting out of bed, and at the end it talks about asking for a sign that if in fact you did connect with source, with the divine, to ask for a sign that you absolutely cannot ignore, one that you know is for you. And so I woke up and I was going to take Lily to the farmer's market, which I did. But I decided that to go take Passato for a walk first. And I've been walking around different parts of the neighborhood, just exploring different streets that I don't usually go down. We usually have like probably like 3 routes that we usually do. So I've been trying to just go down other streets that I wouldn't usually go down. And I had the pretty synchronistic event. Was that just yesterday when somebody asked me if Passato was a German Wire pointer? And he is not. I don't know what he is. He looks like he could be partially. He looks like a miniature Irish Wolfhound, we'll put it that way. But he has a very high prey drive, so I don't necessarily. He's definitely mixed or something because he's not full Irish Wolfhound. He's only 55 pounds. But I do see different dogs that often look like him. He looks like he's got some poodle in his hair because it's kind of crimped. He does look sometimes like a German Wire pointer. He sometimes looks like a Schnauzer. I don't know what he is. He's just a super sweet pup. And he got mistaken for a German Wire pointer. And so today we walked and I decided to go in this little court that I never walk down because it's just a little court. It's like just, there's really no reason to go down it. There's some houses. It kind of circles up to the back of Dobson High, and there's a Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints seminary there, and I don't really know. I'm not religious. I don't know exactly what a seminary is, but this was Sunday morning and there was nobody there. So, anyways, I walked them out front and they had a large grassy area, and I had walked past a couple feathers and I was like, oh, look, a feather. Oh, look, a feather. And I guess the universe was like, hello, we're going to send you your sign, the one that you asked for, to confirm your connection to the divine. And so I was walking and there was more. And on the grass, there were so many feathers. I mean, there were like little tufts, like the little baby feathers, the little like fluffy ones. And then there were like full on feathers, like big long feathers. There were so many feathers. I was like, okay, touche universe. I get it. This is my sign. Thank you. This is great. I was like, if this is my sign, send me one more feather. And I mean, I knew it was, and it was so playful, and it was so fun. And oh, and on my walk there, I kept, and yes, I know birds are common outside, but there were pigeons. And yes, pigeons are common around here, but it was like they would fly, purposely in front of me and land to catch my attention. And so I did look up what pigeons meant, and fertility, which is how I found out that I was pregnant with her, prosperity, and luck. And I just love that confirmation of me being prosperous and lucky. And that's something that I've been struggling with lately that I'm working on letting go, is fears around money, because I did grow up in a household where even though we always had plenty of money, plenty, there was always the stigma of, oh, you can't have that, that's too expensive, or oh, like so as an adult I saw my dream vehicle, which is the Jeep Rubicon in bikini pearl blue, and I will have one day. And I was with my daughter and my parents and my son. We were up at the Grand Canyon for me to go skydiving. And this was a year and a half ago for my birthday. And I saw one of the vehicles in the parking lot and pointed it out to Callie, and she knows it's my jam. I love that vehicle. It's so beautiful. And my mom sees it and goes, "Oh, well, those are expensive. Like, you'll never have that. That's expensive." And it was just it really like it was like a punch to the gut. Like, geez, mom, like, way to be supportive of my dream. Like, even if they're expensive, who cares? I'll have one. Um, but just little things like that. My parents were very uptight with money, very, very uptight, very controlling, very, even though we always had plenty, it was that fear of like those limiting beliefs of like, you can't have that because that's expensive, kind of a thing. Um, Always getting stuff on sale, always getting a good deal, which, yay, amazing when it happens. But so I just love that sign for the pigeons when I looked it up. And I looked that up before seeing all the feathers. Um, was prosperity and luck and fertility, yes. I'm very, very fertile with these three beautiful children. And so that was just really cool to see that confirmation. And again, I've just been absolutely loving this weather. I mean, the rain was gorgeous and nice and so refreshing. But now it's like 60, 61. But because it's bright blue, sunny sky and like a tiny little breeze, it just feels so nice. It does not feel like it's 60. It just, I mean, leggings, a tank top, a sweater. I took off my sweater today when I was hiking with her, hiking wearing Lily, because she is such a little heater that I was just in my yoga pants and my leggings and my tank top with her. And it's just so nice to have this gorgeous, gorgeous weather. And another really magical moment. So we were on our way to the farmer's market and she fell asleep. So I got to pull over and I have been, like I said, I've been binging the Joe Dispenza, the meditations on Audible, but it's like the actual weekend seminar in Boulder. Joe Dispenza, Powerful Meditations. It's, yeah, I shared it a couple nights ago, 3 nights ago maybe. So I couldn't listen to all the meditations right as they come up because I've got this cutie pie, and so I've been listening to them as I can. And I listened to one of the ones today, and I just pulled over in a parking lot and decided to listen to it while I was just enjoying some meditation while she napped. And it was a mini meditation, mini med to activate your pineal gland. And that was, oh, I'm so grateful that I got to do that as she was taking a nap in her car seat. And I just feel like when I came back, that, I don't know, it's that looking around and that realizing that nothing's real. And I got to experience that with my NDE, which was a mystical moment in itself. And that was one thing that when I came back, and that realization that nothing around me was real. Everything was just a dream. I don't know how to explain it. If you've experienced, you know what I mean. Let me know if you've experienced before. And so I got a little bit of that after doing his meditation. And I could tell I wasn't fully back in my body, if that makes sense. And I love that feeling. That is It is like a spiritual high. Like it is nice. And then we walked around the farmer's market and I got some yummy, yummy food. And another serendipitous moment. Um, so I got some coffee and steak and bean burrito and walked over to this park that I saw. Like, you could kind of go through at the end of the farmer's market, a little walk through, and I saw a park. So I was like, well, let's go over there and let's go see if there's somewhere for me to set my food and eat. And usually I stand when she's in the carrier because it's kind of awkward to sit and eat. So I'll stand. And something drew me to this one set of benches. There were two women standing there talking. It did not look like any sort of a birthday party or anything going on, but it looked like where you could rent out the Ramadas to have a birthday party. And sure enough, there was a sign that was for somebody's 8th birthday party, but it was yesterday. So I go over and there's these two women talking, and it turns out that one of them is a dog trainer. And I'd been thinking about wanting to do some more work with Passato. I love taking him for walks so much, but he gets so excited when he sees other dogs. It's sometimes he'll pull. I mean, not sometimes. 99.9% of the time he pulls and yanks and whines, and I'm just like, it's really nice when we get to go for the walks and there aren't any other dogs, but at the same time, I'd really like to have him socialize. And he's 11, and when he sees another dog, he sounds like he's 11 months. And he looks like a little puppy. You would never know that he's 11, and I'm so grateful for that beautiful energy. Maybe that's it. Maybe I just need to let it go and be grateful for the fact that he's 11 years old and sounds like he's 11 months instead of trying to change him. But she did share with me a technique, and she said I can email her and she'll send me videos of this technique for free. She said it's all over the internet. It's just knowing where to find the videos, and it might help a little bit just to not be as distracted. But I mean, if he sees a cat, oh yeah, we've walked by some cats lately, and luckily they've froze, so they don't move. So we've been able to walk past them without him going after them. But if there's a cat and it darts when I'm walking him, oh my goodness. And it was very interesting. Another synchronistic? I don't know what you would call it. How we do healing in time loops is what I've noticed. And they often seem to happen around the same time of year. So if something comes up that we have not resolved, we'll have another opportunity to resolve it. And I do tend to notice that it comes in cyclical patterns. It's like if something happens around Christmas time, it'll happen around Christmas time again in another year to give you the chance to heal from it. So during my NDE, I took Passato out to gosh, oh my goodness, I'm blanking. California. I'm blanking on the name of the beach. There's a dog beach. It's not in San Diego though. I'm totally blanking on it. And we stayed at this hotel that's insanely dog friendly. Great Shore, maybe. And no, it was fun. He definitely went crazy a few times there. I definitely had to bring him inside once when he was out on the patio because apparently he was being too disruptive. And I'm like, it's a dog-friendly hotel. How is this even possible to be disruptive? It's an animal-friendly hotel, I should say. So people have pigs and mini horses, and you can have any and all that and stay at this hotel, which is just really, really cool. Um, Dogs are just the most common. So, and I think I'm pretty sure you can have cats. I think like literally you can have like any pet. And that was when I was still attracting some very scary yelling in my face energy. And it's funny because now the yelling that I'm attracting, I mean, minus my dad at Christmas, but I did not freeze. I actually did kick him out, which, pat on the back for me there. Even if I converged in on that, very fight or flight, I managed to still tell my dad he needed to leave and not completely freeze up, right? So now the yelling that I'm attracting is no longer in my face, but around me. And I would like to get to a point of not freezing when people are yelling. I did EMDR with my therapist this last Thursday on that. I would like to get to a point of being able to. A lot of times it's moms, which is interesting since it was always my dad that yelled at me. Who knows? Maybe that's coming at a certain point. That is funny though. That my neighbor, it was the grandma. The story that I'm gonna get to in a second is a guy. So maybe the universe is gonna have me heal from that at some point. I mean, I did it with my dad. I managed to keep my sanity long enough to kick him out and call the police. My awareness, my sanity, my awareness. But my neighbor, a friend that I stayed with up in Washington, this woman at Swim Kids. So I would like to get to a point of checking in with them and maybe helping them snap out of it, asking if they need help with anything. Because there's so many people just walking around hurt little children themselves, but in adult bodies. We have so much trauma. And, just having some compassion for these moms and maybe asking if they need help with anything or asking if I could give them a hug. I would like to be able to do that. I'm still, at some point, I would like to be able to get out and ask homeless people if they would just like a hug. And, they might say no, but maybe it would at least help them snap out of the anger that they're exerting towards their kids, and just, maybe it would be nice to know that, hey, somebody sees me and has some compassion for me. So, when I was on the dog beach, though, this was 3 years ago now? 2 years ago now. It was the end of January. And touche, what are we coming up on? Today is what, the 22nd? So we're coming up on the end of January when I took Passato. Just Passato and I. This was kind of when I hit my lowest of lows. When I had broken out in a full body rash, and I had just gotten to a point of thinking that if I ended my life, the pain would stop. It wasn't that I wanted to kill myself. It was that seemed to me the only way that I could figure out. Like, if I did that, the pain that I was experiencing would end. And I do believe I did briefly pass, which is on here. I don't know, whatever that is. Whatever portal dimension, whatever happened. Mystical moment. Having loving compassion for myself in another lifetime. Joe Dispenza. Mystical moment. Healing, right? So that was before I even had ever heard of him. So, Passato and I took him to this dog park. He's not really the kind of dog to be off leash, but I did. There were lots of dogs around, and he started chasing a little one, and he is known for picking them up and putting them in his mouth. He has never actually hurt another dog because he doesn't really have much teeth. His teeth are just no bueno. They're like little dull nubs, and he's missing some, I think. But he's so sweet. I guess when I was taking him to the vet asked if he liked to carry around tennis balls, and I was like, no. And I guess it's common to see that in dogs that like to carry around tennis balls because it wears down their teeth. So, the owner of the dog flipped out and basically picked up Pasado and slammed him down on the beach. So very traumatic for poor Pasado, and then got in my face, screaming at me, threatening to kill me or kill my dog. He was, yeah, he had a lot of rage, and I froze and did not call the police. The other people called the police on me. And then it was, when I did talk to them, the police was like, you should have called the police. And I was like, oh, good point. But when I was in the midst of being yelled at and screamed at, I froze, right? I did call the police when I was a kid, but at some point, when you get shut down, um, enough times, because my dad would take the other phone off the hook, and then when I would, those phones that actually hang up on the wall, and then when I would try to call, it was a busy signal. So, like from the phone that I could have access to. I think the other one was like one of those like old rotary, but still connected to the same line, right? So at some point then I stopped trying and started freezing. Sometimes being reactive if my dad would yell in my face and yelling back, but I think there was a lot of mostly freezing. And so I froze with this guy yelling in my face, but I definitely remember seeing Pasado get slammed down. And so yesterday, we were walking in that neighborhood, and there was another dog in our neighborhood, and there was another dog, and he got so excited. And he like, so I have him with a harness, but I always attach it on the front because that just seems to help him not pull. If I attach it on his back, he pulls a lot. If I attach it on his collar, he pulls, and I don't want it to choke him. So I have it on the harness, and then I hook it in the front, and that seems to help him not pull. Because if he pulls, it kind of pulls him to the side, right? So, he was pulling to get out this dog, and he was whining, and all of a sudden he, like, flips and, like, knocks himself on the side. Exactly like what happened with that guy in California. And I was just so like, oh my gosh, that's exactly like what happened 2 years ago. And I don't know, this time it was just him himself, and he just kind of, he's never done that before, right? And then I was like, that is exactly like 2 years ago, where even my dog is going through some healing. So, I checked in on him, told him I loved him, said I know how much he loves dogs. He gets so excited to see another dog, and that's what I would love to have him socialize more. I cannot afford or even remotely think to have another dog. We have a cat. Having another dog in this house is just ridiculously overwhelming to even think about, but it would be nice to have him be able to socialize with a buddy like he used to do with Snickers, especially. Him and Bella were great in the beginning until I wasn't able to meet her needs. And, well, neither Dave or I were, and, they started fighting. But with Snickers, he was always so chill and so good, and I just remember Pasado and him playing when we first got Pasado, and I was a little worried, not about Snickers, I guess. Snicks is just, he's a really good dog, but him and Pasado, and it was only in the very beginning, they would like play so rough, they would knock teeth and growl, and it was so, oh my gosh, I loved watching them play. When we moved in here in this house, which was shortly after we got Pasado, they would be in the kitchen, and he would just, oh my goodness, and Pasado would always take the bottom, and then Snicks would kind of like, wrestle on top of them, and they would just be like, arr, and they'd knock teeth, and it sounded like they were fighting, but they were just playing, and it was so cute to watch. And Pasado was just he's such a goofball. He would just like run, but he would like run into things because he like wouldn't stop. And sometimes he would like run into like the sliding door. Not not like trying to go out it, but he'd like body check into the door. He was such a goofy puppy, and he'd play with like these light up balls, and oh my goodness, just so cute to think about him. And that kind of reminded me of him when he was just like so floppy and so playful, and yeah, these are good memories. So I'm glad I'm doing this. I'm thankful for so many good memories with the sweet, sweet pup. And yeah, so this was a long one for today. Let me know what you're grateful for on this beautiful day.